A storm's true price. A single hurricane can inflict more than $100 billion in damage. Beyond the financial toll, a single powerful storm can claim thousands of lives, leaving a wake of grief that ripples through communities for generations. We should never forget this number, a reminder of nature's immense power. Hurricanes are giant rotating storms born over warm ocean waters. They are engines of staggering energy, spinning like colossal wheels across the sea, gathering strength as they journey toward land, where they unleash fierce winds, torrential rains, and storm surge. In the Atlantic and Eastern Pacific, we call them hurricanes. In the Western Pacific, typhoons. In the Indian Ocean, cyclones. The word traces to hurricane, the Taino god of wind, storm, and fire. A moderate storm can span hundreds of miles, dwarfing the largest cities. In a day, it can release energy comparable to thousands of nuclear bombs. Understanding these storms is a matter of survival and resilience. The cradle of the storm, where hurricanes are born. A hurricane doesn't appear from a clear blue sky. It requires a delicate recipe of ingredients. First, warm ocean water. About 26.5 degrees, 80 degrees Fahrenheit, with warmth extending roughly 50 meters deep. Warm water fuels the storm, heating air that rises and lowers surface pressure. Moisture ascends, condenses into towering clouds, releasing latent heat. That heat accelerates the engine. More heat, stronger storm, more inflow. Next, weak vertical wind shear, so the storm can build vertically. Strong shear tilts and disrupts. Calm, consistent winds let it organize. Many begin as tropical waves moving west from Africa. Over warm, moist, low shear regions, a disturbance consolidates. Earth's rotation imparts spin. Counterclockwise north, clockwise south. Anatomy of a monster, the parts of a hurricane. A hurricane is a beautifully structured, terrifying system. At the center is the eye, calm with light winds and clearing skies. Its diameter ranges from a few miles to more than 40. Air subsides, suppressing clouds and creating eerie tranquility. But the lull is deceptive. The storm's other half soon arrives. Encircling the eye is the eye wall, the storm's most violent ring. Here, updrafts surge, cloud tops soar, and winds peak. This is where the highest winds and heaviest rain occur. Direct eye wall hits cause catastrophic wind damage. Spiraling outward are rain bands, curving lines of storms. Separated by lulls, they deliver squalls, gusts, and even tornadoes. While the eye wall concentrates the fiercest winds, impacts span 500 miles or more. Communities far from the center can still face gales, torrents, and coastal flooding. It operates as a massive heat engine, drawing warm, moist air, lifting through the eye wall and venting aloft as it spins. One of a hurricane's most terrifying dangers is wind, not a breeze. A relentless, crushing force. Wind power rises sharply with speed. 120 is many times more destructive than 60. Mature trees snap. Heavy limbs crash onto homes and vehicles. Roofs can be ripped away, exposing interiors to deluge. Like an airplane wing, fast flow creates lift that peels structures. Once breached, internal pressure can blow out walls and windows. Shingles, signs, cans, and fragments turn into dangerous missiles. Infrastructure falls, power lines and poles topple, plunging millions into darkness and cutting communication and water. Roads clog with debris, travel fails. Responders are delayed. From Category 1 to 5, the scale communicates potential wind damage. Even weaker storms demand respect. The strongest can render regions uninhabitable. Hurricanes are massive moisture machines, lifting ocean water and dumping it ashore. Slow movers can unleash 10, 20, even more inches on one area. Drainage fails, rivers crest, and lowlands become muddy lakes, far inland. Floodwaters rise fast, trapping people in homes and vehicles. These waters are toxic. Sewage, chemicals, debris, even displaced wildlife. Moving water scours roads and bridges and can shift houses off foundations. Floods hide manholes, sharp objects, and live wires. Many hurricane fatalities are drownings on flooded roads. Inside homes, water ruins furniture, electronics, and irreplaceable memories. Drywall and insulation become mold havens. Cleanup means demolition and mountains of waste. Crops are wiped out. Salt and contamination can poison soil for seasons. Of all hurricane dangers, storm surge is often most deadly and least understood. It is not a tsunami. Surge is wind-piled seawater driven ashore. Over shallow shelves, the water has nowhere to go but up and in. If landfall meets high tide, total levels can be catastrophic. Intensity, coastline shape, and bathymetry determine surge height. 10 to 20 feet is not uncommon, a two-story wall of water. Surge combines rise, waves, and currents, demolishing buildings and roads. Saltwater is corrosive, wrecking electronics, contaminating freshwater, killing trees. Inundation can reach far inland, trapping those who stayed. A cubic yard weighs nearly 1,700 pounds. Surge can float cars, derail trains, and move homes. Evacuation orders for surge zones are urgent. There is no safe shelter from a major surge. Before modern tools, hurricanes arrived as terrifying surprises. Today, we see them coming. Satellites spot disturbances thousands of miles out and monitor structure and temperature. Hurricane hunters fly into the storm, releasing dropsondes to measure wind, pressure, temperature, and humidity. Observations feed supercomputers and ensembles. Forecasts blend models into the cone of uncertainty. Tracks are far more accurate today. 5-day outlooks rival past 3-day skill. Intensity remains harder to predict. Rapid changes can surprise everyone. Monitor updates frequently as a storm approaches. Conditions evolve. Better forecasts save lives by granting precious time to act. Before landfall, agencies and volunteers mobilize, moving supplies, readying shelters, and staging crews. Nonprofits and neighbors stand up to help. Know your risk. Are you in an evacuation or flood zone? Pack water, non-perishable food, flashlight and batteries, first aid, medications, and a radio. Secure digital and physical copies of IDs and insurance. Make a family plan and set an out-of-state contact. If told to evacuate, leave early. Just 6 inches of moving water can knock you down. 1 foot can float a car. Turn around, don't drown. Your safety matters more than any destination. Hurricanes humble us, but we are not helpless. They transport heat from tropics toward the poles. Knowledge, technology, and collective action give us hope. Better forecasts buy time, the most valuable resource. Use that time to prepare and protect one another. Build smarter, restore natural defenses, and improve early warnings and planning. These are tangible steps that reduce harm and speed recovery. Prepare your home, plan with your family, help your neighbors. When the next storm comes, we can face the wind. Ready.